Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 17 years of broadcasting success, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience and those tuning in online around the world. We're glad you all could be with us as well. We are always trying to get you all to express yourselves and to let your creativity show. Our next guest is definitely able to do that in a variety of ways. We're excited to welcome to our program today Isaac Alvarez. We're going to talk to Isaac not only about his love of the visual arts, but also what it's been like for him to share that experience with others. Isaac is making a name for himself as an artist, a photographer, and also the director. He also has a project called the Hear Me Movement. We'll discuss what it's been like for him to be able to share that with all of you, what it was like for him to kind of rally other creatives around, and of course let you guys know how to stay connected with him. Isaac, welcome to the program, man.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, glad to do it. So I want to begin kind of where we are because, we're going to get into the Hear Me Movement more, but I think especially this time of where everything is so different, I'll put it that way, Isaac. I think, creators just like to create, right? I mean, I think that's just the way it is. What has it been like for you over the years, though, Isaac, to be able to share your own creativity and arts with the rest of us?
It's been amazing. I mean, all creatives, right? All their creations comes from the heart and comes from where they've been or how they grew up and all that stuff. And it's been a journey. It's been a lovely journey because I've been able to express my self through my art, through my photography, through my film, in a way where it's unique and it's more appealing, and I love it, man. I love it.
Yeah. When did you first realize your love of the arts, Isaac? Is there a period of time where you kind of realized that it was something you wanted to do? Kind of tell us about that.
Yeah, I think just growing up, I've been like the go-to photographer, but I didn't realize it. But everybody would ask me to take photos, and I would have an eye for composition. I would have an eye for lighting, but I didn't realize it until I was maybe like 20, 21, and then I finally took a class of photography, and then I fell in love. And then from there, I just never stopped ever since.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the beautiful thing. I mean, to be able to realize that you have a gift for something and for others to see it. And I found for myself, Isaac, and I'm sure you probably can relate to this, a lot of times other people can see our gift way before we can, right? I mean, was it easy for you to embrace it, though? I mean, it's one thing for you to have an eye, but was it easy for you to embrace what that eye could mean for someone else? Because I noticed when I was prepping for this segment, looking at some of your work, even online, I mean, not everybody can be able to bring out things the way a photographer like you can. I mean, what was it like for you to be able to accept for yourself that you had that gift?
You know what? Until now, it's hard to accept because, as an artist, you're your worst critic.
Right.
I look at my work, and then when I look at my website, for example, I try to go to other artists' website, and I try to compare. And it's hard to get into that, to get out of that mentality, especially as an artist. And I know like artists out there know exactly what I'm going through because it's difficult to accept. But from time to time, when you get a ton of compliments, you kind of say, you know what? Yeah, I did that work. I shot that and all that. Yeah. But not until you kind of see like from other people's perspective how your shot came about.
Right.
But as an artist, you just kind of keep on going. You kind of like you don't stop learning. That's what I'm trying to say. You might have good shots right now, but later on you might have other ideas that will make your shots look better or your work look better, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But as far as accepting it, I don't know. I don't think I'm there yet.
Got you. Got you. Well, what I will say, though, Isaac, and again, we're going to let our audience know at the end of our segment how they can stay connected with you, is that it's very obvious the trust you've been able to get. And you know what? It wasn't until I started having to have professional photo shoots done. I mean, it's a lot different than having someone take a picture of you with your phone, right? I mean, but when you start having professional photographs done, you start understanding the trust. Talk to us about that. I mean, what is it like for you to have people trust you to be able to capture something in them?
You know what? That's actually a funny thing, because a lot of people, or a lot of new photographers, they want to know how you get the images that you get. But it's basically through trust. It's basically walking through the moment from you meet your client through all the way to the end. It's funny you mentioned that, because I actually started a new series called Making a Portrait. So it's basically interviewing celebrities and going through the journey of how I created the portrait. We just filmed the pilot, and then we're listing down like some 12 celebrities that we can accommodate and host. But that's basically the point of the show. But it's tough, because not all photographers, not all artists are the same. They have different techniques. They have different ways. And my way is I get to I just talk about anything that's personal. You know.
Yeah.
Say you come into the door. I talk about what kind of hobbies do you do. What movies do you love? Who's your favorite director? Who's your favorite artist? I talk about other things instead of the shoot, and that kind of eases them off. And that kind of like just releases all the tension and all the wall that's built up, right? And then we listen to music. I tell them to focus on the song and whatnot, and that kind of just ease them out and just makes them feel more comfortable in front of the camera instead of being more tense.
Yeah, for sure. But I have to still admit, Isaac, for myself and my photographer that's here in Mississippi, Mitch Davis, shout out to Mitch. He's been doing my photographs actually for the past decade. He'll tell you I'm still the same little stiff, nervous kid. I mean, it's something about, I don't know, it's something about when you know that someone's doing something, and he tries to get the candid shots and stuff. But it's just, for me, it's just so nerve-wracking. It's my least part of what I do, I think, is taking photos. So, but look, that trust is definitely important. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna have to work on that for sure. I want to say, for those who are just tuning in, though, either on the radio side or online, you're listening to Conversations Live. Isaac Alvarez is our guest for this segment. We're talking to Isaac exactly about what we love on this program, that is passion and creativity. We're talking to him about his own journey as an artist and photographer, what it's been like for him to share that with all of you and to be able to make you all be able to see and feel things, both whether you're the subject or the person, the observer. But the other thing that you've been able to do is, as a director, though, Isaac, was that a natural progression for you, that you always know you wanted to do something when it came to being able to direct projects and help bring them to life?
Actually, yeah, because I felt that taking photos, you're basically telling a story with one single portrait, and it's the same thing. You're directing your subject, you're directing your talent to do whatever it is that you want to relay on camera, on the photo. And film is just a moving picture. So that's the only difference, and a bigger production, basically. But my talents are, I'm able to guide my subjects to do whatever it is that I want to relay on film or on photo. And that transition was fairly easy because I was already doing it in photography.
Got you. So talk to us about the Hear Me movement, Isaac. I mean, I've seen so many great projects coming out of, the COVID era and, us sheltering in place and, what so many people saw as such a dark time. Creatives like yourself have been able to make something impactful out of it. So how did the Hear Me movement come about?
Oh, it came about because we were all in quarantine, right? We got all stuck at home. So as a creative myself, I couldn't, I had to do something. As a creative, I felt that I was cornered and I was handcuffed and I couldn't really do anything. And I said, I have to do something. So I called up like 10 to 20 friends. I said, you know what? I have an idea. I'll FaceTime you. Write a message that you want to relate to others that you're going through in this COVID situation, and I'll snap a picture through the phone. And then the guy goes, okay, if you want to do that, I'm game. So I called a few friends, and the message, the thing is that the message gravitated me to do it a lot more. So one message said, I miss the gym. I mean, everybody can relate to that. I mean, I miss the gym, you know? So I snapped the picture. And then another friend said, I miss hugging my parents because this person didn't have access to seeing her parents, so she missed hugging her parents. I snapped that, and then the next thing you know, I have like 50 people doing it, and I'm like, okay, I gotta continue, and then I got another 100, and then all of a sudden when I started posting it, and a lot more people are messaging me, telling me how every single message inspired them to be more positive. And I was like, oh my God, I have something going on here, you know, and I have to keep on going. The next thing you know, I have like over 200 people doing this Hear Me movement. And then we filmed the spoken word for it, and then that just blew up. And I was just basically my main goal was to just create positivity, to spread positivity, and it just did. It worked, and that's what I wanted to do.
Wow. I love being able to, when I was prepping for this, going through some of them, I love some of the messages, like from Alicia Oshie, where she says, keep calm and create. You know, another one was, tap into your creative side. Is that kind of what you hope, though, Isaac, that your example encourages people to do, to use this moment, even though it may have its challenges, to be able to tap into their own creativity and let something good come out of it? Yes,
that's the ultimate goal, because you know, you turn on the news, all you hear is COVID this, COVID that, right? And then the election is happening, and then Black Lives Movement happened. It's just a series of it drains me emotionally as a person, as a viewer. You know, it's draining, and especially when you're a creative person, you get stuck in a rut. And when you get stuck in a rut, you tend to just get stuck wherever you are and you don't create. And my main goal was for people not to get stuck, for people just to see the positive out of it, you know, and for people to continue. Even if we have other things going on around us that are negative, we can't just focus on the negative. We got to focus on the positive and what's good. So, that was my main goal, is for people to get up and just, you know, create something or do something and keep on moving, because it's hard enough for us to focus on what's going on and not be able to move forward, you know?
Exactly. And as one of your youngest participants says in her sign, we are all in this together. And I think it's a great reminder for all of us. Again, everyone, Isaac Alvarez has been our guest. Great conversation with you, Isaac. We've been talking with him about his creative journey, what it's been like for him to share with all of you. So, Isaac, how can our audience stay connected with you, man?
They can stay connected with me through Instagram, Isaac Alvarez Raw. That's my Instagram handle. And then my website is www.isacalvarez.com.
All right. Well, Isaac, this has been great. Thank you so much for coming on the program. Glad that Studio Matrix connected us, and looking forward to having you back on the program again.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
Oh, glad to do it, man. And we thank your audience for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live today. Let's make it a great one.